with no regret. And that's how profit.
Done did it again on the hater, man. I don't think they were ready for this one.
They gave y'all the blueprint, man. Just get up and go get your bag. That's how you gotta do it. All hustle, no luck. You gotta work for this one.
What's up, traders? It's your boy Ace Boogie coming to you live and direct. I want to talk about a few trades I took about a week or so ago, a few days ago actually, and I want to talk about what to look for and what I was looking for in these trades. So ABUS is the first one I want to talk about. I got the weekly chart pulled up, and as you can see, I took a trade. Maybe I should have got my entries right. I think I got in at 537 and I exited at $6 and 625. Pretty sure those were my entries and exits. But been watching I saw this breaking out over these weekly highs, and this is a pattern I've been seeing a lot lately that you should really be keying in on. As these stocks approach, weekly levels that have been shown to be resistant, if they break out with decent volume, maybe they get a good catalyst or whatnot. Doesn't matter if it even if it's low float without a catalyst and it just has a short squeeze. If it breaks out over these levels, you can get a nice pop to higher resistance levels. So, for example, in ABUS, once it broke out over this 550 level, it shot directly up to 650, which was resistance from this big candle back here in July of 2020. So these levels on the weekly
Market data connection lost.
on the weekly chart is very important. That they're very important. So always be pulling up the weekly and monthly charts because they'll show you levels that they show you. Look, I got notes from when I traded it before. They'll show you levels that you won't see on the daily. So this is the area of resistance, and that area of resistance is resistance under this resistance. So know what you're trading. This is almost a dead chart, trading at near its all-time lows. So just know what the big picture is, and then you will understand how to approach a lot of these stocks. But here's some specifics on how I traded it. I'll pull up, let's say, the 15-minute chart, make it easy, make it quick. There it is. So ABUS 15-minute chart, I basically kept it simple. Trading is not really complicated. It's just tedious being disciplined. So I kept it simple and I just bought the breakout. So ABUS put in a higher day right at the market open, had a big pullback, found some support, and started curling back up with higher lows. Ended up breaking back, pushing back past VWAP, um, all the way up, and the big volume came in and accelerated into the high day. I saw it go through 550. Let's see if I can put a 5-minute chart, maybe the 1-minute chart. Give you some more details on how I actually traded it. Here it is. So I basically played a breakout and a confirmation. Popped up to 538, came down, consolidated, found the base, just under 425, like 415-ish. Pushed through VWAP, grinded up some more, started accelerating with the big volume, and it broke out over 538. I saw the breakout. I waited to see if it can push 550 to show me that 550 could be a revolving door, that it's not, immediate resistance. It popped through 550. It came back down to the breakout area, confirming that breakout, holding that breakout area as support. I bought on that breakout confirmation. It continued, broke out to new highs, all the way up to the mid sixes. I missed my sell at the top. This was very volatile and kind of erratic, so it popped up to 650, then popped back down. Um, I sold some here just to be patient, and then when it popped up and it couldn't break out again and popped down, I missed that sell. And then when it started breaking down under these levels from this little base that it was forming, I got out and just cut it off and just took the rest of the profits. And as you can see, it did, just downtrend from there on. So that was a good cut at that point. But it was definitely potential. I caught it on the breakout level. Now, if you buy it on the dip, you can get better risk reward. Let's say if you get it, let's say on the VWAP push right here, and you sell into where I was at, that's 40% on your money intraday. So you can't beat that. You just got to learn how to key in on the right stuff and buy it at the right time, and know when it's getting unstable and starting to unwind, so you can get out at the right time. So that was ABUS, and this was a pretty solid one. I was pretty proud of my entry and my exits. I gave it enough time to do what it was going to do. It had no continuation, and I cut whenever it was failing. So um, definitely kudos on that one. So another one that you want to focus on, where is it? That has a similar pattern. It was OWUV. So it had a similar pattern, even though it's a completely different type of stock. So this was an OTC stock. ABUS was a NASDAQ listed stock. So two completely different market caps and exchanges, but same type of trade. So here are the weekly levels. And I saw that OWV had just broken out over these weekly levels with big volume. And I believe they had news on that day as well. I think it was like metaverse stock. Metaverse stuff is hot right now too. So metaverse news. So that gave it some fuel. Buyer stepped up, had over 100 million in volume on this day, which is very good for this stock. Looking at previous months and years, and it broke out over these levels. So same deal. Watch for the big breakout on the weekly chart. You can even go back to the monthly chart. You can see it's breaking out right over these levels. As you can see, there's more levels back here that it has to compete with. So I'm not surprised that it stopped out at 20 cents, where when there was resistance at 21 cents. So it's making lower highs on the macro chart, but we're able to trade what we need to trade on the daily and on the intraday chart. So within that range. So daily candles, boom. This was the breakout day that I bought. I sold too soon on day two. Um, yeah, it happens. I missed out on a bunch, and then I kind of chased it at the end and gave some back. So some trading mistakes on this one. Let's look at it. So the 5 minute chart up. So what's dope about OWUV is the fact that it had perfect first green day intraday chart structure. So this morning, big volume, big push from 5 cents all the way up to 690, almost 7. Pull back, then a breakout continuation all the way up until like almost 7, 725. And then the pullback and consolidation. So it had a high, a low, and then a consolidation, and it grinded up higher lows from that base. So when you see that, you know that hey, it's working in your favor. It's curling up from these levels. And just like ABUS did, the volume came in right around this time. This time, well, it did it around 1500. So this was perfect afternoon price action, but similar to ABUS, how the volume came in after that consolidation phase, it curled up and broke out to a new high day. And then from there, um, put in another top, came down, put in another base, and continued. After that second continuation, I think I caught it. I think I caught it after this, and I was able to get in right here. Wasn't the best entry, but I knew it had potential from just all of this structure to continue the next day. It was the first green day, so um, I had a lot of conviction that this will continue higher, even if it doesn't close as strong as I would like it to. And that's exactly what happened. So you had the big afternoon run up, and then it had like a weakish close, closed like down here. I was a little bit down on my money when it closed, but then it gapped up. It didn't gap up next day. It opened the next day, had like a weak open, and then ended up spiking and spiked all the way from 9.8 cents to then the first push was to 13. And I sold into that first push. I sold like at 11.5. So I made a good 20% overnight on that. But as you can see, I sold too soon because it went to, 14 right here, consolidated for a little bit, and then more news came out and it ended up going higher to 20 cents. Big pullback. I thought I was gonna, you know, finish higher, had that pullback, consolidate, grind up, continue. It closed weak again, and then it did pop up, but this was, I think I was doing something. I wasn't prepared to exit, and I didn't see it till it was already down here. And I was going to wait for a bounce, but it got too low. I couldn't manage the risk, and I stopped out. And luckily I did because it ended up just downtrending for the rest of the day and the next few days. So that was OWUV. So keep in mind, even though I'm talking through all these trades, keep in mind the big picture. The big picture is the weekly, looking at the weekly charts on OWV, looking at the weekly and monthly charts on ABUS. Same sort of setup where it's breaking out over weekly levels and has room to run into resistance that's further back. So those were a synopsis of the two trades I took a few days ago. I did take a trade today. I'll go over that real quick. It was a pretty quick trade. I was just trying to get back into the habit of taking profits into strength. So this one was SYTA. I'll go over that really quickly. Um, like I said, I didn't take too many shares. I was just working on the mechanics. Um, Market open, I saw this high right here from the pre-market. I knew it wasn't like the pre-market high, but I don't want to wait to up here to buy it. I don't want to buy it at 515. I saw it pop up through 5, come back down, and pop back through 5. So I took that strength and that the fact that it can pop through 5 multiple times as a indicator that it can probably go higher. It was low float. It had I think some buyback news or something like that. It had a catalyst and it had massive volume, so it fit the description for a stock that I would like to trade. It was also a big percent gainer on the pre-market, um, and it has a short sellers chart. And when I say short sellers chart, I mean it doesn't have a history of multi-day run-ups, but it has a history of big runs on one day. So if you're able to catch these early on the big run days, you can, you know, reap the benefits of early shorts getting cooked on their positions. So I saw it, breaking out this $5 level. I said, hey, it probably can test this top of this candle. So if I can buy it for at 5, I can probably sell near 550. That would be like the first level of resistance right in this area, right in this area. And that's what I did. I just followed the plan, didn't look back, didn't care what happened afterwards. So SYTA, saw the little breakout over this area, which was $5. Bought it, went to about 550. Had some issues the first attempt. Came back down. Tried the second attempt. I sold on the second attempt. Then, as you can see, it came back down a couple more times, found some support at 525, quarter dot level, and then continued. So this area right here, the real pre-market highs. Let's see. The real pre-market highs was a good guide to be risking once you were in the trade and once it broke out over those levels. But I was looking at the macro levels and I'm fine with that. I was really just practicing getting in and out and following my plan no matter what. And that's what I did. So software shutting down. So we're gonna end the video lesson. Got any questions or anything? Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, G5 Trades, Ace Boogie 2488. I'm out. Peace.